Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are having two exciting multiplayer matches where Roman legions face two different opponents, and in the first battle both Roman legions are in triplex Achilles formation. So I'm commanding the House of Brutii and my ally, the Trooper, is commanding House of Julii. And we both have 4 units of Hastati, 4 units of Principes and 4 units of Triarii. Then we have Onagers and heavy Onagers, General's Bodyguard, a bit of cavalry, and some Roman archers and velites. This formation here is pretty much the same, except I have 1 velites unit more and I have 1 cavalry auxilia, while the Trooper has 2 units of equites and I have only 1 unit of equites. We are facing GMC Jin and Necromancer, the combined forces of Macedon and Greek, and they have, at least the Macedonians have a solid archer line, some peltasts, some Cretan archers, some phalanx pikemen, and some heavy cavalry, companion cavalry, Macedonian cavalry and light lancers, whereas the Greeks have some Greek cavalry, General's Bodyguard, Spartan hoplites, armored hoplites. Quite a strong unit composition to face with an army that relies on infantry. But let's see how the battle goes. So, Macedon is moving forward and their last units are revealed. So all of these are phalanx pikes. And they are taking up a position here. And let's see if the Roman onagers can get in range. Yes, they can. So I'm lobbing off some flaming ammunition while the Trooper is doing the same, and the first kill is ours. Trooper is sending his velites to engage the archers here, while the Roman archers are starting to shoot the Macedonian archers. The artillery are still bombarding, and there is a rush from equites, but they get thwarted by phalanx pikemen, except they manage to hit this archer unit, but the light lancers are forcing them to withdraw. On the other side, the Greek cities have also archers. They are engaging in missile exchange. The Macedonian light lancers are moving to engage Roman archers, but they are intercepted by equites and being routed. So far the skirmish is, I don't know, perhaps it's going in the favor of the Romans. However, the Greeks and Macedonians have quite a lot of more archers, so it might be that they will win this initial skirmish here. Macedonian phalanxes are starting to advance. They are getting into position. The Brutii velites are still at bay, and that equites unit is being chased off. And those archers are finishing it off pretty much. While everything else is going on, the onagers are still firing. I haven't seen any good hits from them this far. There was decent enough. So that phalanx pikeman unit took some beating. And now it seems that the Julii velites are being routed as well by the Greek and Macedon missile superiority. And that was a nice hit there. Of course, from my perspective, it was a horrible hit from the Macedonian perspective. Macedonian peltasts are joining in the battle, taking some casualties from artillery fire. And here this phalanx pikeman unit is taking some damage, but it seems that the Macedonians and Greeks are winning the skirmish battle, and now Macedon is advancing. It might present the velites an opportunity to hit them, since Greeks are staying back and the light lancer are in pursuit. So now it's up to Hastati to make some moves. And velites. Oh, it seems my artillery is firing my own troops. And apparently I'm not the only one. The Julii artillery is doing the same. There is a bit of a flanking maneuver happening now. Macedonian cavalry hitting pretty hard those velites and breaking them. And it seems they are able to withdraw before they end up fighting in a prolonged fight against the Hastati or Equites. And here on the other side, the Greeks continue to bombard the Julii with missile fire, and the Julii are responding with artillery fire, and here the phalanx pikemen are joining the battle while the Macedonian cavalry was routed. A bit of a baiting there, it seems. And now the Roman lines are moving in to battle, or at least forward. So Hastati have clearly moved forward, and the Principes are moving forward as well. The Macedonian lines are looking rather strong in here, and of course the Greek lines there as well. And now the Julii are advancing forward as well, and the Brutii Hastatis are moving to engage. It seems they have caught the phalanxes a bit off guard, and they take a bit of a damage from missile fire or from Pila. And here... oh, it seems that the melee is not going too well for the Romans on this front at the very least. The Julii are rushing forwards as well, however they are not engaging the Greeks just yet. And then there are some Macedonian royal pikemen joining the fray as well. And it seems the Brutii are at least in a bit of a trouble on this side. On the other side, the Julii are advancing, routing some of the Macedonian skirmishers, but here the Brutii front looks to be collapsing. Well, one phalanx pikeman is routing, but to compensate for that, for the Macedonians, most of the Brutii army is fleeing. And the Julii are pushing forwards, but still not engaging with the Greek phalanxes. The Macedonian cavalry is hitting quite hard here, and the phalanxes are looking really strong. The archers are pulling back. And Royal pikemen are engaging triarii. However, non-phalanx pike or spear unit versus phalanx pike unit is not looking too good. And in the other front there is something happening as well. The Julii are engaging in battle against the Greek armored hoplites, and apparently I managed to kill my own general with artillery. Not looking too good there. The Julii Hastati seem to be able to surround at least some of the armored hoplites, but those hoplites are standing really strong there, and there is quite heavy archer fire support going on as well. Here it seems that the majority of the Brutii army is broken, so it's up to Julii now to hold up the Roman glory. Principes are getting into position, and Spartan hoplites are moving in to engage. And these armored hoplites are standing really strong here. And cavalry is joining the battle on both sides. However, the Greek anchor of Spartan hoplites here seems to be winning the day for the Greeks, and they still have their general unit or command unit as reserve. And as you can see there, the Brutii army is being driven off from the battle map altogether. The battle here is going on between Principes and armored hoplites. Hastati are being routed. Also Principes are taking some beating, being routed. It falls up to triarii, and as most of, or if not all of us know, that they are not really that elite unit in the original Rome Total War, so that except versus cavalry, so that might cause some difficulties. There is not much triarii to fall back to. And the Spartan hoplites are standing rather strong here. And well, that armored hoplite unit has taken some beating, but Macedonian cavalry is attacking the back here, which might mean the end of the battle is coming rather soon. The Julii general seems to be a bit in trouble, facing against quite a lot of Greek cavalry, at least in relation to the unit size there. The general is routing, he's killed, and the triarii are starting to break. These managed to get the Spartan rear, and they might actually be able to do some damage there. At least getting some kills. However, they are only one unit, and there seems to be something else happening around here. A Brutii elite unit managed to beat Grecian archers, and now they are hurrying towards a royal pikeman phalanx, it seems. Brave lads there. And the Triarii doing their best, but unfortunately it seems to be a bit too little, a bit too late.
The gods should see this. Your army are defeat is bitter indeed for any Roman, but defeat is only the first step to fresh
So that was rather clear. Clear victory for the Greeks and Macedonians. As you can see, Necromancer managed to inflict quite a few kills, and not bad from JMC Jin either. And of course, we Romans didn't fare quite as well. So as the unit stats here, the Onagers actually managed to do quite decent damage, and otherwise, well, missile units did some damage. Hastati were pretty much useless. Principes managed to do something, Triarii not too much, and Cavalry did do something. So let's move to battle number 2. So in the second battle we have 2 Post-Marian legions facing off against barbarians, Dacians and Gauls, and I'm commanding the Senate's legion, and the trooper is commanding the House of Scipii legion. We have rather similar armies. Well, not perhaps quite, but in my army I have 3 archer auxilias, 1 legionary first cohort, and 9 legionary cohorts. There is support unit of ballista and 2 auxilias as well. 1 Roman cavalry unit, 1 legionary cavalry unit, and a general. And the trooper has general ballista, Roman cavalry, legionary cavalry, 1 cavalry auxilia, and it seems legionary first cohort and 9 legionary cohorts, and there are archer auxilias. Okay, 3 archer auxilias, and or rather 2 and 3 light auxilias. And the Gaul army is commanded by Necromancer. He has swordsmen making the front ranks here, 5 units in total, some druids to buff morale, 3 chosen swordsmen units, 2 barbarian cavalry units, chosen warlord, barbarian noble cavalry, and most likely some missile units hiding that we cannot see just yet. And then JMC Jin is commanding the Dacian army. There are some Falksmen in the front, some chosen swordsmen, chosen archer warbands, and then there are some cavalry, noble cavalry, and chosen warlord. And let's see if the legionaries manage to do a bit better in this battle. So both sides are pretty much watching what the other will do. Oh, actually I have 3 auxilias. There. So, the Gauls are moving forward. There are skirmisher warbands. And yeah, skirmisher warbands moving forward. There, the Senate is moving missile units forward. Of course, here is at least some advantage for the Romans, because the archer auxilias can outrange these skirmishers quite a bit. Some movement there. Chosen archer warbands are moving in, and forester warbands are coming to support the skirmisher warbands. Cavalry is also beginning to move out. However, these skirmishers are being driven off. And the Foxmen are moving in here as well. The legionaries have advanced on this side as well. So the Romans are taking a bit more aggressive stance in this battle compared to the last one. Barbarian noble cavalry seems to be coming to drive those archers off. And here is a bit of skirmishing happening. Skirmisher warbands coming to engage the light auxilia and actually forcing them to flee. Perhaps that's because they are frightening barbarians that good honest Romans need to pull back. That skirmisher warband is being routed, and it seems Foxmen are being targeted as well. Here the Forester warbands are engaging the Archer Auxilias, it seems. And on the other side, the Foxmen that have no shield are taking pretty heavy casualties from the Roman missiles. Of course, now the Dacian chosen archer warbands are in range as well. So the Archer Auxilias are taking casualties as well. The skirmisher warbands have been routed mostly, and now it's up to these two chosen archer warbands to win the missile engagement or support enough the Gaul army in its battle. And it seems the Gaulish army is beginning to move to this side, which causes at least some reaction in the Scipii. Cavalry is moving out. Here the missile battle is raging on. The ballistas are trying to support the missile fire there, but it seems the Senate here is taking some heavy casualties, at least in the missile unit front. The Scipii army is advancing, and that last skirmisher warband is being driven off. And the Senate is also advancing. By the way, it's really nice to talk oneself about with the word Senate, as most of us know about Star Wars as well. Kind of meme thing to do. Well, back to the battle. The cavalry auxilia and light auxilia are quite forward there. And barbarian cavalry is making an attempt at the archer auxilia, but the Roman infantry is not quite far behind, so they are moving in to engage, and the barbarian cavalries are forced to pull back, and the Roman archers are starting to hit those swordsmen. Heavy barbarian cavalry is moving in against light auxilia, it seems. The Roman cavalry here is not responding, at least yet. On the other side, the legionary cohorts are moving in to engage. Here we have a bit of a cavalry battle going on. Archers raining from all directions. And it seems here the Roman cavalry is taking quite a beating, excepting the legionary cavalry, which is standing strong, and the Roman general joins the battle. And it seems it's after all the Gauls that will be routing here.
The enemy general flees. Press forward so the spirit.
And let's see what's happening on the other side. The Roman legion is moving in to engage in melee. The chosen swordsmen, some units are protecting the flank there. And some auxiliaries protecting the other flank, and also those chosen archer warbands got into melee. However, the archer auxiliary numbers are quite limited. The Dacian cavalry is moving in to join the battle. The Gaul army is joining the battle here, and the Scipii are advancing. The Roman cavalry seems to be poised on a flanking maneuver, while the Roman general is joining the battle here. The legionaries on this side are standing surprisingly strong against the Gaul army here. However, the Dacian cavalry managed to make a big breakthrough here and are hunting down the Roman general. Roman cavalry is scrambling to help, except it's not there, but it's on the other side to hunt down those forester warbands. And now the Dacian cavalry is bogged down in melee against auxilia as well, and they are broken. As well as some of the chosen swordsmen are beginning to break as well. However, here is a clear gap from which enemy cavalry can push through, so there is some chances for backstabbing in this side. And the Gaul general looking a bit threatened there. The legionaries are advancing there, and the almost fresh Scipii legioner is advancing as well. The Dacian general fell, and they have mostly chosen archer warbands left, some infantry, and here actually is a rather decent fight going on, and some of the Romans are being routed as well. Auxilia and legionary cohort and Roman cavalry is being routed as well. Now the Scipii are joining the fray, and it seems that this flank of the Gaulish army or joined barbarian army is about to collapse. Let's see if these chosen swordsmen here can do a bit better. Arrows are flying this way and that general's charge was rather devastating to the morale here. So it seems at least 3 or 4 units are breaking now. There is one bastion of Dacian and Gaul infantry still standing strong, shaken, and those chosen archer warbands are firing, but the noose is tightening. The Scipii are moving in to join the battle as well. The Gaul general is doing what he can here, but now that last infantry bastion has fallen, there is some chosen swordsmen still fighting in here, but the main battle is happening, or perhaps it happened around here. It's still happening because there are those chosen archer warbands standing here. So they are firing missiles. The Senate army has been quite a bit hit here, suffered rather heavy casualties, but still fighting. Now it's mostly up to the Scipii to mop up the remaining Dacian troops here. A bit of a cavalry battle going on here. Cavalry auxilia versus warlord, being driven off by legionary cavalry. And now it's only these several chosen archer warbands still standing, some of them being chased by Roman cavalry, some of them being fired upon by legions, and then some of them being engaged in melee. So 2 units still standing and a couple of units there. And these are breaking, so it's now up to these 2 to turn the tide of the battle and drive the Romans off, if that can be done. But apparently they don't want... Oh, they are reloading. But perhaps... Yeah, perhaps that was it. Oh, and it seems we are not getting the stats. That's a bit unfortunate. But as you can see, the Scipii Legion managed to stay in rather good shape. The barbarian armies were decimated, and the Senate army took quite heavy beating here as well. Okay, so this was it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like to join one of these kind of battles later on, feel free to join our Discord channel where we organize these battles. I think it's also possible if you want to join the battle to observe it, we can arrange that as well. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.